Well, here we go. I am standing at the edge of my next chapter. Coffee in hand, heart open, no idea how any of it's going to go, and I'm bringing you with me. Welcome to my expansive era, also known as the Future Gen Files. This isn't the after story, this is the becoming story. Messy, beautiful, real-time soul evolution. This is my very first episode. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Jen Johnson, a solo parent of two amazing young adults, a widow of over a decade, a builder of businesses, a collector of passport stamps, literally can't get enough, and a champion for anyone who's had any sort of plot twist in their life. Or like most of us, you've had 12. Over the last decade, I've had to rebuild from the ground up. Everything shifted overnight after losing the love of my life. I've had to reimagine my entire existence. Everything I dreamed, everything I thought was going to be in my future, I had to recreate. And along the way, I realized life doesn't stop after loss, it expands. So here we are again at a moment in life in which I am going to be expanding. It's actually kind of hard to believe that I'm in this place, that it's been 12 years after my late husband passed away, and now my kids are at a place where they're going to be launching into their own amazing journeys. And while that means that my grocery bill is going to go down, silver linings, it means that I've got to figure out what's next. And I thought, what better way to do it than to be held accountable by the internet? I want to wait until I have the perfect polished after photo or after video before sharing this next chapter. I want to document it as it's happening. I want to have the conversations with you, and all the messy, all the magical, the Mondays where you don't know what the heck you're doing, the victories that are so tiny only your heart knows how big they are. I want this to be a space for real love-fueled living that's purposeful and intentional, not just for me, but for all of us. So I'm starting the conversation right here, right now, not just to hold myself accountable, but hopefully to inspire you to maybe lean into your own expansive era and to talk about the things that you're going through in your own lives. I know there's so many of us in the world right now having to pivot, having to shift, having to start looking at things differently. And so I want this to be a space where we can inspire each other and support each other and hopefully expand together. So what does that look like for me right now? I mean, this is obviously the first episode, but I have been thinking about it and talking about it a little bit as to what I am thinking I want in my expansive era, what the next chapter looks like for me. I am expanding on my businesses a little bit. I am obviously putting myself out of my comfort zone just in this space. So that's new. I am thinking about moving abroad. I spent 5 months last year with my kids in Europe, and so I am thinking that might be something I want to do when my kids are off, in college doing their thing. All that to say, there are going to be so many stories that hopefully will help not only me work through this chapter of my life, but maybe, like I said, inspire you. Stories of travel, adventure, figuring out how to rebuild our lives, behind the scenes moments of building my business and trying to do that from a really soul-led, intentional, love-filled space, because that's really important to me. I want to reflect on the healing process, the grief process, solo parenting, dating, heaven help us all, and everything in between. I think it will be an opportunity for us to have some real honest conversations about what it really means to reinvent yourself, and not in the way of Pinterest quotes or obtaining the perfect aesthetic lifestyle, but from a messy place, from breathtaking truth, from a place that is authentic and inspired from within. And maybe a few dance parties, a lot of coffee, because dance parties and coffee are my jam. And, I'll be able to laugh at myself and the mistakes I make along the way, and also be able to reflect on them and, you know, discover a lot of really cool lessons and depth from that. Because expansion isn't linear, and honestly, that is what makes it beautiful. It's meant to be messy. So let's be messy. Here's what it comes down to. There comes a moment when the life you've built starts whispering, and it says there's more. There's more for you. There's more connection. There's more expansion. There's more love to lean into. There's more adventures to be had. There's more growth to experience, and there's more joy available to you in the next chapter. And if you're brave enough to listen, which is, I know, really hard. I've had to work really hard to learn to listen myself. But if you're brave enough to listen, and then you're even braver to say yes, then right there, that is where the magic starts happening. So this right here is my yes. You've all heard it. I can't take it back. I am now accountable. But I'm saying yes. This whole next chapter for me is going to be about walking forward with hope that's bigger than fear, faith that's bigger than fear, fueled by the love that drives me, rooted in growth, and ready for whatever is to come that's going to create this most magical, expansive era for me. And I hope that it does for you too. If you are standing on the edge of your next chapter and you're well ready to say yes, or maybe if you're not and you're close, but you're not quite there, subscribe, join me, and let's evolve together.